your point of women shouldn't be in leadership roles, um, I was just saying we come from that. If we know our true story and really study our true story, we would know that there were plenty of women leaders. A lot of people think that that movie, The Woman King, was just like something that came to somebody's head and they made it. No, the Dahomey tribe was a real tribe.
Okay,
They
so
their traditions was the brother. Well, as far as the two, because you need man and woman, so the two ruled. But in regards to our ancient story, we come from a long line of women warriors who led.
Did she bring up the homie tribe? The real warriors behind the woman king, the homie tribe. Give me a second. I know there's a person who knows about a homie tribe. Hey, Key.
Yeah,
You know about the homie tribe, right?
yeah, the one with the lady.
Which tribe was it that pretty much did almost the same thing as chattel slavery?
The homie tribe.
So it was the homie tribe who pretty much,
It's the homie tribe.
they were the ones that did the chattel slavery?
Yeah, yeah. If you put in the homie tribe, they're the ones that were sacrificing their own people and practice slavery.
Damn.
Yeah, you should probably do some research.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right. Time to do some research.
The Dahomey people were not only major players in the transatlantic slave trade, but they were also slave owners themselves. They fought the French forces who were trying to get the tribe to abolish slavery. This tribe was said to have conducted a lot of slave raids.
Well,
The Dahomey tribe was more villainous than it was heroic. Their practices were the stuff of nightmares. They lived by the code, enslave or be enslaved. They were known to burn villages to the ground, return home with the decapitated heads and genitals of their enemies, and enrich their tribe via slavery and the slave trade. Some accounts have them drinking the blood of their enemies, performing human sacrifices, and enslaving children.
that's the homie tribe.
pretty much you're on the stance of back in the history, black.
Let's talk about it. What you see behind me, this is King Gizo. He was the king of the Dahomey tribe. And if you're familiar with the movie Woman King, it's centered around him and his tribe and his warriors or whatever you want to call them. I haven't watched the movie. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have no desire to watch the movie. Just because I tried to watch it and literally it sounded like won't. I couldn't comprehend anything on it whatsoever. King Gizo. So he was responsible for the slave ship called Catilda that landed in Alabama. Now let me take that back. He's not responsible for the ship. He's responsible for the Africans that were captured and placed on the ship to come back to Alabama to be enslaved after slavery was abolished. One of the people from his tribe lived to 1935. He described how horrible this man was. But he said he never forgot who he was. The guy that came over here on the Catilda that lived until 1935, he was actually studying or next up to be a chief in law enforcement over there. But, you know, he was taken by King Gizo along with a whole bunch of other people. And, yeah, gave him right on to him. Put them in their hands. Didn't think twice about it. Just like that. I mean, I'm thinking like, I want to do a Ouija board reading on him. And asking, what the fuck was you thinking? And I also want to see where he's at. I want to see if he's being punished.
What's up, y'all? So let's talk about the Dahomey. Okay, the Woman King. What it say, the Voodoo is a traditional African religion that originated in the kingdom of Dahomey. Let's say it again for the people in the back. Let me know if you can hear me. Holler if you hear me. Voodoo is a traditional African religion that originated in the ancient kingdom of Dahomey, which is now present-day Benin. The word voodoo comes from the Fon language of Dahomey down to the etymology of it. The word voodoo comes from the Fon language of Dahomey and means spirit or God. So if you practice voodoo, you practicing God. Spirituality. You just saying I'm spiritual, that's voodoo. If you just say I'm spiritual, that's voodoo. Okay? Here are some aspects of voodoo and Dahomey beliefs. Voodoo is a monotheistic. Okay, let's be clear. Voodoo is monotheistic religion that recognizes a single supreme spiritual entity, Mawulisa, who is a combination of the female goddess Mawu and the male goddess Lisa. So Lisa is the male goddess. Okay? The Dahomey people believe that the universe could only work when the male and female work together as equals. Right? Some common practices include baskets, gathering in a circle, and chanting and dance. Now, everybody told you circle magic, right? That's voodoo circle magic. So they get that circle and chant and dance. The role in Dahomey Kingdom. Voodoo was the religion of the royal family in Dahomey and was a basis for the nation's politics, religion, and military. Voodoo also brought to Haiti by slaves captured from the Dahomey Kingdom. Okay, let's say that clear. Voodoo was also brought to Haiti by slaves captured from the Dahomey, not by the Dahomey, from. The slaves created a new religion based on their shared beliefs and those of the tribes. Voodoo played a significant role in the largest successful slave revolt in history, independent of Haiti. Okay, Dahomean religion. The Dahomean religion was practiced by the Fon people. All right, let's learn you. The Fon people, also called Dahomeans, Fonu, are the GBE ethnic group. What's the GBE ethnic group? The GBE language is pronounced Gebe, from a cluster of about 20 related languages stretching across the area between eastern Ghana and western Nigeria. The total number of speakers of Gebe is between 4 and 8 million. The most widely spoken Gebe language is Iwe. That's in Ghana and Togo, followed by Fon. The Gibe language was traditionally placed in the Kiwa branch of the Niger Congo. So remember, I was just telling somebody the other day about the Congo is one of the original spots, but more recently have been classified as Volta Niger languages. This includes the 5 major dialects: Iwe, Fon, Ajan, Gen. Okay. Map showing distribution of the major Gibe dialect. So you got the Abome. Okay, Togo, Nigeria. GBE languages also plays Gebe languages played some role in the genesis of several Caribbean Creole languages, especially Haitian Creole and Surinamese Creole. So let's get this. Iwe traditions refer to Ketu as Ame. Or let's go back. Ketu, settlement in present-day Benin Republic, formerly known as Dahomey, might be an appropriate starting point for belief of history of the Gebe peoples. Iwe traditions refer to Ketu as Amazofe, origin of humanity. Okay, the Congo. Okay, the Congo, origins of humanity, or Mawufe, home of the spiritual being. Okay, that's big. We getting somewhere. It is believed that the inhabitants of the Ketu were pressed westward by a series of wars between the 10th and 13th century in Ketu. Now, who you think they was warring with? If they was pushed west, so they wasn't in the west of Africa. They was pushed west, right? So a lot of your East Africans really ain't East Africans. The real East Africans was pushed west. Okay, war between the 10th and 13th century, Ketu and the ancestors of Yebe-speaking people separated themselves from other refugees and began to establish their own identity. Attacks between the 13th and 15th century drove a large section of the group still further westward. They settled in the ancient kingdom of Tado on the Mono River in present-day Togo. The Tado Kingdom was an important state in West Africa up to the late 15th century. Okay. European traders and the transatlantic slave trade. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it's in French or something. Little is known of the history of the Djibe language during the time that only Portuguese, Dutch, and Danish traders landed on the Gold Coast. Now, Portuguese, Dutch, and Danish. So let's keep in mind, all the troglodytes is guilty, and Spain is a troglodyte. They guilty too. Okay. Let's see. Spanish missionaries, see they involved. The relatively peaceful situation was profoundly changed in the rise of the transatlantic slave trade, which reached its peak in the late 18th century. 15,000 slaves per year were exported from the area around Benin. So this is why I keep telling y'all, FBA, ADOS, black people, that y'all really is West African. If you do that if you do a real 23andMe, not the government bullshit, but if you do a real one and you could really like shout out Mike TV be doing ancestral work. Like you find like a real person to do genealogy tests and shit like that, that shit is gonna say West African. Okay? Transatlantic slavery, 18th century, when as many as 15,000 slaves were exported from the area around Benin as a part of a triangle trade between European mainland, the west coast of Africa, and the colonies in the New World, which is America, notably the Caribbean. The Caribbean, the whole Caribbean's African. It didn't even nothing to talk about with y'all. The main characters in this process were Dutch, the English, let's see, the Gribble colonial, Europeans, Christianized the colonized parts of Africa. So when all the Africans that be like, Jesus, Jesus, you get in your Uber and the African driver playing gospel music, Europeans took it to be their calling to Christianize the colonized part of Africa. So you're not, the whole Africa supposed to be practicing voodoo. You ain't supposed to touch nothing about Jesus. You already had a monotheistic religion. You already had the black prima donna and all that, Isis. You already had that with Osiris and all that. Let's see. I'm gonna teach you about that E-way or something in a minute too. They giving some history. Y'all can slow the video up if you want to read about the history. Trill. So I don't, it's good to know the etymology, but I don't speak the language, so I wouldn't. They even got the tone. You got to, when you want to talk African, you got to say it aggressive. Okay? But okay, we learned something. The GBE ethnic group. They are the largest ethnic group in Benin, found particularly this the Dahomey now. Particularly in the South region, they're also found in Southwest Nigeria and Togo. All right, you see the sword. Okay. Roots with the Aja people. Who are the Aja people? Ethnic group in Benin. Okay, capital city, Kingdom of Dahomey. Okay, so these is basically West Africans. We got the origins. Okay, nothing shocking. The Kingdom of Alada. There you go, your Allah right there. Amazing King apron. You see what that look like, a Masonic apron. See, look, you got the Congo with the K. Okay, the Congo people.
The Dahomey people were not only major players in the transatlantic slave trade, but they were also slave owners themselves. They fought the French forces who were trying to get the tribe to abolish slavery. This tribe was said to have conducted a lot of slave raids.
Well,
The Dahomey tribe was more villainous than it was heroic. Their practices were the stuff of nightmares. They lived by the code, enslave or be enslaved. They were known to burn villages to the ground, return home with the decapitated heads and genitals of their enemies, and enrich their tribe via slavery and the slave trade. Some accounts have them drinking the blood of their enemies, performing human sacrifices, and enslaving children.
That's the homie tribe.
Okay, the Congo people, right? This is what I've been telling y'all. BC Congo, right? Singular Musi, massive Musa, Congo, Congo, Mu Congo, King Kong, Kong, right? Are a Bantu ethnic group primarily defined as speakers of Kikongo. Subgroups include the Bembe, Vili, Sunde, Yonde, Dodelari, and others. All right. Significant population, the Dominican Republic, Republic of Congo, Cuba, Gabon. Okay. Portuguese involved in this shit. Christianity. But I've been telling people about this this Bantu ethnic group, right? Central Africa, captured and export trade of slaves to European colonies. Similar to the Zulu term Konto, derived from the Proto-Bantu. See, like I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all is Bantu Africans. These are the original, ethnic group. We're gonna go back to that. Hold on, we're gonna go back to that. Okay. Which means spear the nation, military wing of the African National Congress. Douglas Harper states the term means mountains in a Bantu language which the Congo River flows down from. Moxie Congo, like Mexican, Moxie Congo, Christian missionaries, particularly in the Caribbean, applied the term. Well, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it. But later, this term was used to refer to any black man in Cuba, right? So them Cubans, you not Cuban, you not Spanish, motherfucker, you Bantu, West African, okay? The term Congo was more widely developed to identify Kikongo-speaking people enslaved in the Americas. You motherfuckers is Congolese, man. Congo, Bantu. Get that through your head. Congo and Bantu. Look where the Congo was. Right? We ain't gonna get too far off topic, but y'all got to get this. That's why Angola is in Louisiana. But let's go back. I want y'all to get this Bantu ethnic group. The Bantu peoples are an indigenous ethno-linguistic group from approximately 400 distinct native African ethnic groups, right? So this is, you got, look at, just understand what you're looking at. These is the original people who speak Bantu language. The language are natives to countries spread over a vast area from West Africa to Central Africa, Southeast Africa, and then to Southern Africa. Bantu people also inhabit southern areas of Northeast Africa. So this is what I'm saying. Look at the map. This was origin A, point A of this shit. It's an approximate distribution of Bantu people divided into zones according to the Guthridge classification of Bantu language. 350 million, right? Southern, Central, East, Southeast, Southern Somalia. Mostly motherfucking Christian and Islam. Let's see what Bantu religions is. Traditional beliefs, veneration of the dead. Okay, so this kind of proves my point. I didn't even know we was gonna get here, but this proves my point that voodoo was the original traditional practice, the original religious practice, right? So you see where it say, through folktale songs and festivals, including belief in the amount of higher and lower gods, sometimes including a supreme creator or force. Belief in spirit, veneration of the dead, use of magic, and traditional African medicine. Hoodoo is voodoo. Y'all motherfuckers keep trying to separate the shit. It's no one without the other. It's like grits and cheese and grits and sugar. Like, you keep trying to make it seem like it's two separate dishes. Like, no, it's just this without that and this with that. Like, it's still this though. The this don't change. That udo don't change. You can change the H or the V. Okay. Most religions can be described as animistic, with various polytheistic and pantheistic aspects. Animism builds the core concept of Bantu religion, similar to other traditional African religions. This includes the worship of tutelary deities, nature worship, ancestor worship, and the belief in the afterlife. While some religions adopted a pantheistic worldview, most follow a polytheistic system of various gods and spirits and other supernatural beings. Traditional African religions also have elements of fetishism, shamanism, and veneration of relics, and have a high complexity comparable to Japanese Shinto or Hinduism. All this shit is voodoo. I didn't even know we was gonna end up. See, this is why once you dive down the rabbit hole, you never know what branches and bridges you gonna hit along the way, right? So that's a big statement right there. From Japan to the Hindu, all this relics and that fetishism is an objective belief to have a supernatural powers or in a particular human-made object that has power over others. Essentially, fetishism is the attribution of inherent non-material value or power to an object, talisman, amulet. Okay, we ain't gonna go. We know that's voodoo. Need I say more? Right? Polytheism was widespread in most of ancient Africa. Ancient now, we talking ancient, and other religions of the world before the introduction. To all the people that's watching, to the 20, 30, 40, 80 people, whoever watching, man, y'all getting to the core of this reality, man. I'm telling you, keeping up with the channel, go back through the catalog, man. This is the ultimate wake-up platform. You watch my channel, you watch all the videos I put up, you coming out better than you went in. That's a fact. I stand on that. Hit the cash app. Fuck it. Right? Now, what it say? Deceased human or animals, important objects still exist in the spiritual world. Okay, polytheism was widespread in ancient Africa and other religions before the introduction of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Get that Jewish shit out. Man, you see it say and Judaism. This is before the big three. All three of them. Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Elohim, all the Hindu break, all that, and come on now. High gods along the other more spiritualized deities, ancestor spirits, territorial spirits, and beings. A common theme among African religions, right? Not just Bantu, highlighting the complex advanced culture of ancient, this shit is ancient, right? The Zulu shaman and medicine woman, traditional African medicine is comparable with traditional Chinese medicine, although much knowledge got lost after the introduction of Islam and Christianity. Rat bat, custard, man, don't get me started, man. You see it say ancestral ghosts and spirits. Okay? Ancestor veneration.
The Dahomey people were not only major players in the transatlantic slave trade, but they were also slave owners themselves. They fought the French forces who were trying to get the tribe to abolish slavery. This tribe was said to have conducted a lot of slave raids.
Well,
the Dahomey tribe was more villainous than it was heroic. Their practices were the stuff of nightmares. They lived by the code, enslave or be enslaved. They were known to burn villages to the ground, return home with the decapitated heads and genitals of their enemies, and enrich their tribe via slavery and the slave trade. Some accounts have them drinking the blood of their enemies, performing human sacrifices, and enslaving children.
that's the homie tribe.
Okay, so let's see, you got motherfuckers at Harvard describe the Bantu mythology to be part of the many traditional African traditions, right? All of them, which are complex animistic religious traditions and beliefs of the African people before the Christian and Islamic colonization. Islam, this is another thing for you Islam motherfuckers. Islam colonized you first. Colonized. Torture, Abu Ghraib type shit. Like, yeah. Colonized you first, enslaved you first. Okay, ancestor veneration has always been a significant part of traditional African culture and may be considered as central to the African worldview. Ancestor ghosts and spirits are an integral part of reality. The ancestors are generally believed to reside in an ancestral realm, spirit world, while some believe that the ancestors become equal in power to deities found in African traditions. Pause and read if you feel the need. Okay, pause and read if you feel the need. Monotheism does not reflect the multiplicity of ways that traditional African spirituality has conceived of deities, gods, and spirit beings. He summarized that traditional African religions are not only religions, but a worldview and a way of life. The traditional ways of the Bantu belief system has been modified to various degrees in various ways by the Advent Christian or Islam, as the God Christians and Muslims have been equated to the Bantu supreme deities. Come on, man. Y'all gonna get this work tonight. Fuck it. Although he may be associated with the son or oldest of all ancestors, or have other specifications, most various deities include the Bantu. And you see one of them is Bakongo. Okay, we ain't left the Congo. That Muluku, right? That Mukuru, that Uu, that Voodoo, okay? You got to know that Gulu, Gala, Hulu, Amazulu, Amazon, the Fawn language, right? All you got to understand what's going on here. Okay? Let's get into the mythology. Ogre spirits. Kilimanjaro, for example, the Chaga led by the Kilimanjaro heptail was a monster with leopard looks. Zulus and zombies. Okay, folk tales. We ain't gonna get into the folk tales, but okay, I told you motherfuckers. Here it go. Bantu religion, particularly religion practiced by the Bakongo people, was brought to the Americas via the slave trade. The spiritual traditions and religions have been preserved. Congo traditions include hoodoo, off the rip. You can't separate this shit, and I'm telling you, voodoo is the first thing motherfuckers on planet Earth knew was voodoo. That's the first thing motherfuckers knew, whether it was heal or hurt. Okay, alchemy 101. The spiritual traditions include hoodoo, Palamente, Lumbalu, Kamina, Haitian voodoo, Umbanda, Candelome Bantu, and Venezuelan and Yuyu. Alright, we earning it, we learning it. We earning it, we learning it. Let's get into the etymology of this. Okay, this is Bantu. This is Bantu, the Niger Congo. Right? Okay. Proto-Bantu term for people or humans. That's, do you see what I'm saying? In linguistics, the word Bantu for the language family and its speakers is an artificial term based on the reconstructed Proto-Bantu term for people. Right? So that's how I'm telling you these the original people, because the name Bantu just mean human. Not troglodyte, not Neanderthal, not Caucasoid. A human is Bantu. If you're not Bantu, you're not human. Understand what this is, the etymology breakdown now. We getting there. Okay? See, this is why I tell y'all the Zulu is a part of this shit. The Zulu is hoodoo, is voodoo, right? Words rhyme for a reason. The name was said to be coined to represent the word people and loosely reconstructed Proto-Bantu noun class. Ba, meaning people, the root. And that Bantu must got something to do with the Zulu. Like, okay, so we getting somewhere. Bantu language because they are not an ethnic group. People speaking Bantu. So it says there's no native term for people who speak Bantu because they are not an ethnic group. Now hold on, if they're not an ethnic group, people who identify with each other based off perceived shared attributes and distinguishing between the group. So he basically is talking tribalism. Because how we got here was the Bantu ethnic group. That's how we got here. Okay, we got more people. Let's get into the history. We talking 4,000, 3,000. Eastern and Southern. Rapid dissemination taking roughly through 2 millennia. That's two millennia and dozens of human generations. The first millennium BC. Okay, do you understand what's going on here? Rapid dissemination taking roughly 2 millennia and dozens of human generations. First millennia BC. You see where they at. They were brought in the scientists, retraced the migratory routes of the Bantu populations, previously the source of debate. The scientists used data from the vast genomic analysis of more than 2,000 sample segment individuals through sub-Saharan to trace the Bantu. During the wave of expansion 4,000, 5,000 years ago, Bantu, some 310 million, went to West Central Africa. Bantu-speaking people extirpated and displaced many early inhabitants, with only a few modern people, such as pygmy groups in Central and Tanzania, Khoisan populations across southern remaining in existence. Damn, so the Bantu was moving, making motherfuckers move around. Shit. Found the Khoisan population began a drastic decline when the Bantu farmers spread through Africa 4,000 years ago. So remember I did the holy bloodline of melanin, and I did that breakdown with the Bantu ethno group. I'm gonna have to put that picture back up because this is heavy. Okay, you got Nigeria, Cameroon. Pause and read. 10,000 years ago, Bantu-speaking migrants would have also interacted with some Afro-Asiatic outlier groups in the southeast, mainly Cushitic, as well as Neolithic and Central Sudanic. Now we know what motherfuckers look like in the Sudan. They pitch black, and they talking Afro-Asiatic, right? The Congo rainforest by 1500 BC. I mean, make of this what you will. KwaZulu natal. Cameroon and their dated ancestors in Bantu. So look, they basically took over. And when we talking nappy-headed, pitch black, athletic, you know what I mean? You got 350 Usain Bolts, Francis Ngannou type motherfuckers. No wonder they making people move around. Let's see. They even got into it with the Kushite and the Khoisan. I think that's where the Asian come from, is them Khoisans. We did videos on the Khoi African. Later Bantu-speaking immigration subsequently displaced or assimilated that southernmost extension of the range of Kushite. So the Bantu wasn't even really claiming Kushite. Okay. Ghana, Benin, Cameroon, Togo, Nigeria. This is the empire that they trying to bring back. Now this is how you know this is the origins of voodoo, because look what it say. West Bantu peoples, Congo, Gabon, 2500 BC, Irish, also views Igbo and Yoruba people as possibly back migrated Bantu peoples. Man, this was one of them ones, man. Bantu states include Kingdom, Zulu Kingdom. Okay, you see the Zulu on there. Everybody on there. Now how we got here is the damn woman king and the voodoo that the woman king, the Dahomey tribe was practicing. That's how we got here. Okay. Swahili emerged ever since Arab and Islamic. Islamic is Arabic. That thing got nothing to do with Africa. Now you got Afro-Arab members of the Bantu, Swahili people. Good God Almighty. Now they took it to Madagascar, Zanzibar, and the Swahili coast. Okay. Tanzania, South Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Republic of Congo, Somalia. All right, moving right along, man. Let's back out. How we got here is the Dahomey. They converted to Christianity or Islam, so we know what they was doing before that. Okay, traditional beliefs. The farm religion is called Voodoo, which is etymologically linked to voodoo, the term that refers to theological concept of numerous immortal spirits and deity. The Orisha. The voodoo religion is polytheistic. The charms I call juju, grease, juju, obey, for you Jamaicans out there, involves leaves, herbs, smokes, and offerings. Right? It's they criminalized the voodoo with talking about eating people. Practice can involve drumming to induce possession by one of these gods or spirits. Okay? So I'm gonna learn you. Let's see, you got Haitian Voodoo, Dahomey by Mumbo. Got a video coming up about that Mumbo. So DC is a very voodoo undertone town. I'm gonna point that out coming up. But here goes some images of your Dahomey, Bantu, Voodoo. Now, them Fawn Kings was looking sweet. Is it just me, or is the Fawn King looking LGBT trans? You know? And the reason I say that, I'm gonna show you a reason why I say that. I've been meaning to do this video, but I'm gonna touch on it. We ain't got no more pictures like that. It's funny, you got the stilts like the Dogon. Where do the Dogon fit into this? They definitely West African looking. Right? But let me show y'all one more thing before I go. In Voodoo, you got Obatala. And Obatala is always, dressed a certain way. But this is that feminine, masculine energy in one. But I don't want to give you too much on Obatala because I got a video about Obatala. But I don't know, man. We might wrap this one up, man. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. One more thing before we go. See, this all started from the Woman King movie. That was the conversation which led us down this rabbit hole. And for you misinformed, the Woman King had kings. The dude that was wearing the lipstick, had his man over his shoulder with the lipstick, like in the beginning of the video, those were the Dahomey kings, right? These Woman King, the Dahomey tribe, that's just a faction, though. These ladies was just military. So this is like a low-key psyop. But Man, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. I'm out.
The Dahomey people were not only major players in the transatlantic slave trade, but they were also slave owners themselves. They fought the French forces who were trying to get the tribe to abolish slavery. This tribe was said to have conducted a lot of slave raids.
Well,
The Dahomey tribe was more villainous than it was heroic. Their practices were the stuff of nightmares. They lived by the code, enslave or be enslaved. They were known to burn villages to the ground, return home with the decapitated heads and genitals of their enemies, and enrich their tribe via slavery and the slave trade. Some accounts have them drinking the blood of their enemies, performing human sacrifices, and enslaving children.
that's the homie tribe.